Is it time to call out veganism for what it actually is? An eating disorder, but first...
All animal industries, including the meat, dairy and egg industries, leather, wool, fur, feather, scales, they're all inherently abusive. Just
You've
human
never
food
visited
consumption.
my place.
How do you know?
Because if you had, you'd know that you're talking a load of shit.
And what animals do you farm? What is your industry?
I run a goat dairy. For a start, we don't... our animals.
Yes, you use euphemisms such as artificial insemination, which
I
is
don't
great.
use artificial insemination. I run my bucks with my herd. My bucks get the girls when the girls are in season, and only then. And it's their choice, nature's choice. We allow our kids to stay on their mother. We only take the excess milk. So you're talking a load of shit. And
You are abusing your animals.
No,
That's
I'm not.
what you do. Yes.
Let me ask
You're
you
making
something.
profit
If
from
I'm
them.
abusing my animals, why is it that I can walk out in the paddock, I can call them by name, and every single one of my animals come up and want to rub their faces on me? If I'm abusing them, why are they so friendly to me?
Exactly. Free-range animals on regenerative farms don't experience any abuse whatsoever. And farmers, they have a greater appreciation for animals than anyone.
I'm not a vegan. I'm going to eat some meat somewhere. You're a little young guy who wants to save the world. Hey, you're not going to do it. The best impact you could have is die. One less person. Do you not want to die for the planet?
Not really, no.
I'm a carnivore. I'll admit it. I like to eat meat.
You're not a carnivore.
The definition of carnivore is any organism that eats mostly meat. And humans have eaten mostly meat since the beginning of time.
And we can
And my
thrive and
choice-
survive on a plant-based
My
diet.
choice is I like to eat meat.
Wait 1 second, you just said you're not a carnivore. What do you mean by that?
Well, humans are omnivores, so that means we can thrive and survive on a plant-based diet.
What?
Yeah,
He's
but
not a
hang
carnivore
on, we
because
are
otherwise you'd
omnivores.
only be able to thrive and survive on flesh.
Excuse me, dear. You said omnivore, which means that we eat both meat and plant products. We have a choice.
Yeah.
Don't put your choice on me. I want to be able to choose for myself.
Absolutely. If she wants to eat just plants, fine by me. But I'm going to eat meat.
Busy vegans, they're eating just bowls of pasta and, hummus sandwiches, none of which is all that nutritious.
Well, that's not strictly true. I mean, firstly, hummus sandwiches can be very nutritious.
It's an ethical view against animal abuse and murder.
You're wearing a belt. Is that belt from leather or is that an artificial?
Yeah, it's vegan leather, yeah.
No, it's an artificial product.
Yes.
That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah, no one was shot in the head for my belt. So it's a synthetic material and no one was shot in the head
So
and
that
it's
bit
not
of
someone else's
synthetic
skin.
material you've got, that produced as much CO2 as driving my car from here to Darwin. That's correct.
Can I see the scientific resource for
Well,
that
you've only got to go
information?
to WHO, the United Nations WHO website. That will actually show you that for every 500 grams of synthetic material created, it produces as much CO2 as driving 2,000 kilometres. Free-range animals don't produce any greenhouse gases.
Vegans are delusional to believe that they're more innocent than the rest of us. And a vegan diet and lifestyle causes far more animal deaths than regenerative farming does.
What about the fact that medics recommend people on a vegan diet take supplements? That's not a ringing endorsement, is it?
Well, most people take supplements, of course.
I don't.
But even...
Nice.
Would be saving land by choosing a plant-based diet. There'd be less farming required as compared to the amount of land required for animal-based foods.
And more chemicals to use to control
No,
weeds.
yeah, I mean, you can grow organic. It's pretty simple.
Is it? Is it? What was the country that went organic and stopped them using phosphates and now they're starving? Sri Lanka?
You know what the difference is between food that's grown GMO'd for pesticide resistance and food that's grown normally? You can't use the seeds. But also, they can use 10 times as much pesticide on it because it's pesticide resistant. You're eating 10 times as much pesticide if you eat GMOs.
I think we need to come down to your farm and spend a night there. Sounds like a lovely place.
We need more farmers like this guy, because the way we're going is not sustainable.
If you're woke, this is really offensive.
Disgusting. What do you think you are? You're just a coward. You're embarrassing yourself. What am I going to do? Nothing. You're going to die on your own.
Killing animals, and it feels good for the vegans. Feel all the blood on your face and all the blood on your hands. It feels good.
The way I view this footage is it's hilarious.
Marks and Spencer's have a very popular sweet. One of the most popular sweets they do, called Percy Pig. Percy is A pig. He's a pig.
Yeah.
Right. Pigs are made of meat. But oh no, the vegans have come for Percy. It's the fact that they had bits of gelatine in, which
is from
apparently...
pigs.
And what's gelatine made of?
From pigs.
Pork fat, right? So guess what? M&S and I've got rid of all the
revelation.
gelatine. So there's no trace of pig in the pig sweets. And now they taste, as fans have said, like washing up liquid. So they've completely destroyed Percy pigs to cater for a few vegans. Vegans, vegetarians, go and get your own sweets. Go and get ones called kale nices, right? Kale nices.
I'm surprised they didn't complain about the fact that the sweets are pig faces.
Vegan bacon, I was just in the local M&S the other day, and the first ingredient is water, the second ingredient is sunflower oil.
Plant-based alternatives, they may not be the healthiest food you can consume.
To shoot innocent animals that have beating hearts that run from you simply because they want to live. They're not armed with copper bullets or lead bullets.
I think you're not really asking a question, you're making a point, but I'm going to answer like a question. I would say that if you look at the grand spectrum of species on this planet, you treat humans like a species, we're one. You'll not find many that don't prey on other kinds. On this continent alone, people hunted for 15,000 years, notwithstanding the last couple hundred years. So to not hunt is in some way off the mark. To not hunt is a fairly new experiment in a human sense. To ask a wolf not to hunt anymore is an impossible question. So if someone comes to me and says that they don't want human hunting, we don't want to hunt, I kind of am like, coming from what perspective?
Modern humans have definitely developed a strange relationship with animals, and it's not normal and it's not healthy.
I admire the deer, but I admire the idea of deer more than the individual deer. And I can assure you that I know more about deer than you ever will. And I've learned that through hunting for them. And I probably care about them in a way that's deeper than something you're going to experience from having a removed perspective on it. Like all predatory animals with canine teeth, we eat meat.
Anne Osborne doesn't think there's anything odd about her diet.
I think fruit's very sweet and it's almost like nature's candy.
Well, yes, it's full of sugar.
While Ashton Kutcher also trialled the diet, but ended up in hospital after 1 month.
There's so many different types of fruit and each piece of fruit has its own flavours.
You're lacking some of the major things we need in our diet, and they are omega-3, the fatty acids, that's iron, calcium, vitamin D.
And the rest?
Animals get protein from consuming plants. Even carnivores get it from consuming herbivores.
Absolutely, and that's why cows have plenty of protein in them. When you eat a steak, you ingest protein.
But you can get protein from plants. All plant protein originates from plants.
You'd have to eat millions of plants, honestly, Ed. You'd have to eat millions of plants.
I mean, how does a broccoli compare to, let's say, steak?
Well, they're not necessarily comparable, but broccoli isn't a protein source.
All plants are poor protein sources because of the bioavailability. It's practically zilch.
But when you compare things like legumes, like soy, and even seitan, which is a plant-based protein, they have comparable, sometimes even higher amounts of protein per gram compared to certain animal products.
Stop it. Get some help.
The point you're making is completely mute.
Sorry, do you mean moot?
You can get protein in a plant-based diet.
It's not mute. It's
very hard to mute. You can't mute Mike Parry.
You're not arguing against me. You're arguing against the NHS, the British Dietetic Association. You're arguing against the largest bodies of medical and health authorities on the planet.
Yeah, they all study the corrupt food guidelines.
Vegan activists are not giving up their quest to make us all eat bland, plant-based gruel. They've tipped milk all over the floor of Fortnum & Mason and Selfridges in London. They've hurled white paint at the gates of the Houses of Parliament. Now they've targeted a high-end steakhouse in London. And the waitresses did what many have wanted to do with these protesters for a while. Take a look.
Thank you for the market. Good night. Thank you very much, ladies.
Bye, have a great time.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.
I don't view vegans as a threat if it's just a personal choice that they're making.
Literally no one does. Literally nobody sees a vegan as a threat. Okay.
That's funny. You're right.